What does the word self-defense mean? When you hear the word self-defense, generally everybody gets an image in their mind. The image in their mind is somebody attacking you in some physical form and you doing something physical to defend yourself. That's the normal image that you would get. He grabs you, he punches you, and he does different things, and you do different techniques in defense. But as far as we're concerned, if you think in terms of self-defense in that way, then we tell you it's too late. It's too late. You have to think in terms of self-defense just like in defensive driving. What does defensive driving mean? What do they teach you in defensive driving?
Prevention.
It's to anticipate the potential hazards in the first place and drive accordingly. In other words, you don't go code 3 through downtown 80 miles an hour because you know that everybody doesn't hear the siren, nor can you stop if somebody pulls out in front of you. So it's learning to understand what the potential hazards are to begin with and set in motion preventive measures. Preventative measures. That's what's more important. Knowing what the potential is and setting in motion the kind of things that will keep you from getting into that situation. You're actually taught these things in various ways, but you don't equate them. You just look at it in a separate issue, and it's not. For example, in a police situation, in an arrest, what's the first 6 rules that we tell you to apply in approaching a suspect of any type? And why we give you those rules? We tell you to be aware of suspects' hands, potential weapons, friends and associates, potential escape routes, footing in terrain, and covering concealment. Now we give you these rules for what purpose? To avoid the kind of mistakes that you make by not knowing the rules, not applying the rules. So that's in a sense a defensive measure also already. Knowing that if you don't watch out for the suspect's hands and just walk up to a guy, he's got a weapon in his hand, you're subject to being a victim real quick and easy. So you watch for the hands. Then if you don't pay attention to potential weapons, next thing you know, he's used the weapon with that hand. And so on. You can take the hand. 1, 2, grab. Down. So if the guy gets in here, just right to here. Now, I'm going to follow through. Or he's going to beat the rest of it. That's force against force. So rather than do that, when he aims for your head, all you're doing is this. Now, it seems funny that he'll miss that, but the more he aims for the middle, the more he'll miss. Because actually, if I stay right here, this is where it would be. When I do this, there's nothing to hit. Because this is solid. When I do this here, there's nothing. It just slides off. So then you do that, you do this, and you're down to here. So you tuck in, drop in underneath him. Now, don't try to throw. When the guy grabs the gun, his tendency is to want to pull. And if you sit there and try to stop, you're giving him the leverage he wants. So don't pull backwards. Don't stand there. He's going to pull you off your feet, off balance. But go in the direction that he can't stop. Now, a lot of times when an officer's guns are taken, it can be in a totally different position. Okay. Sometimes the officer's on top, fighting with this guy, he reaches up and grabs the gun out of the holster. Now you're sitting there trying to fight him with this gun, and he's sitting there punching with the other hand, you're trying to sit there and hold this gun, you're in trouble. Because that's how a lot of officers lost the gun. Being on top, the guy reaches up and boom, he jerks the gun down and he's got the gun. Drive in. I can take him to control that. The other one is just to break loose. If it's just him and you want to control him, do that. You've got a lot of the people. Roll. Barrel goes up and roll. That is now you hold that there. All I'm holding is the thumb portion. Use the whole thing as a leverage. Crank that wrist all the way around. So utilize this. Okay. So that helps bend it. Simple. If he has it up like this, you're trying to pull it down. If he throws a fast punch, you can catch it. But if I don't feel it, and I try to catch, I can miss it. So that's what you do. Here, you've already got the hand. Which will pop his elbow more than likely, which is all right. But in practice, I want you to do it slow. As you pop him back, hit. Schoolboy headlock starts from when you're a little kid. Press on natural, just end up grabbing by the head and trying to twist your opposition down. When you grow up to be a policeman, they still do the same thing. They don't run around grabbing people by the head, twisting it down. That's one of the worst things to do normally, is grab people by the head. Why? Especially for police work. The guy's got 2 hands free. You're grabbing him by the head. You're sitting here trying to do this. He's got 2 hands free. He could hurt you bad. Don't be grabbing people by the head like that. Right? It's very dangerous. Here, you grab the outside. Step underneath. Now, he's not going to do anything. It's all yours. You can do what you want. Give me a hand. Extend out, which means you go around, pointing at him, and around. All right, that's the
push up underneath. Yeah, see, that limits his ability to do anything. That's why they'll do the high mount. Plus, I can't pop my hip and push over. So in this position, he can punch down, and I can't reach up. So the only recourse here is if you do any kind of a block in this.
But what happens is, unless you practice it, somebody grabs your gun, you're going to be so intense on here, your mind will be locked here, and you'll just struggle. You'll just struggle because your brain is locked in here and just to get a death grip, you won't be doing anything. He may just finally outmuscle you, or you may just trip and fall and against the gun. You got to take advantage, a split second, distract him, and follow through. And that only comes from practice. If you don't practice, you're not going to manufacture a technique in the middle.